that I was most excited about is once I was married and I could put a sign outside my classroom that said, Mrs. Spitzer. Wow. And then, even then, I knew that at the first faculty meeting of the year, the principal would likely announce that I had become engaged over the summer. And my colleagues would stand and applaud for me. They would applaud for me in my new engagement. And I couldn't wait for this to be the case. It would be a little while before I started to question this status change from Ms. to Mrs. It became clear to me that you would no sooner in the business world find someone smoking a cigarette at their desk or drinking scotch in the boardroom than you would find them calling someone Mrs. at work. And it also became clear to me that outside of education, women had long since decided that marital status was not relevant at work.
I found myself walking down the halls of all of the schools that I work in, and I would see door after door with a sign outside that say, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Jones. There's very few work environments where people address each other with a title in front of their name. I mean, even the most professional situations, people call each other by their first name. So teaching is unique for that reason. Men do not go into a situation where someone is going to address them by their title with leading with their marital status. Their marital status is never acknowledged. Doctors don't go into the room leading with, just so you know, somebody's my wife, somebody's my husband. They don't have to do that. So why, as women, are we continuing to lead with that information? Like, it's maybe some of the information that you want to know about me, and that's fine, but I don't think it's the first thing that I want to lead with. It's not the thing that is the most important thing about me, especially at work. When I started walking down hallways and seeing Mrs., I really started to think about teaching. There is no next level of teaching. If you want to move up, so to speak, and you want to move into administration, administration is a completely different job than being a teacher. I started to think of all of those things in terms of, what are we doing to set ourselves back? What are we doing that creates an environment where we can't advance our career? What are we doing to perpetuate any idea that we are secondary breadwinners or the extension of someone else who has the real job in the family? And so all of those things are tied in for me. They're all tied into this idea that I'm a Mrs. And I wanted to shed that idea. I wanted to shed the idea that at work, I'm a Mrs. before I'm all of the other things that I bring to the profession. I talk about it in the talk a little bit, but for example, at the first faculty meeting of every school year, in almost every school I've ever worked in, you can expect for the principal to make her announcements, and the principal's announcements are going to be who got engaged and who had a baby. And I just think that as professionals, we have so much more to celebrate, so much more to acknowledge than just the idea that we found our perfect person or that we're growing our family. We are those things, and of course we're proud of those things, but I think that our professional advancements should also be acknowledged. Teachers are some of the most highly educated professionals that exist. We are learners by nature. It's why we love to help other people learn. So as teachers continue to develop themselves, which most of them do, either by attending a conference or pursuing another degree or pursuing a doctorate for that matter, all of the different ways that teachers seek to develop themselves, I think that there should be a forum for the celebration of all of those things. I think that all of those things should really serve to inspire others to continue to learn and grow themselves. If you think about the fact that marriages, engagements, and babies are celebrated more than those things are finite. My learning and growth, that's something that should exist through my entire career. And that's something that should be celebrated over and over and over again. the examination of what really lies at your core, what really is something that is important to you, what's really something that you feel like is worth sharing, ideas worth sharing. When those things came through with this group of people, we shared a bond that was unlike anything that I've experienced before or probably ever will again. And so it's not just about the idea that's worth sharing, it's also about the connection that you create when you share them.